Welcome back to the channel, friends. Hope you're doing well. Today, I want to give you an update to my portfolio because I thought long and hard about it, but it's time that I'm selling my last individual share that I still have left in my portfolio. Obviously, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've been trimming down quite a bit my individual positions and really consolidate into S&P 500 ETF. Then I have my Bitcoin holdings and my real estate. That's sort of my three-pillar strategy. And I just don't feel it makes sense for me anymore to even hold on to that share. So if we jump over into my interactive brokers portfolio account, which is my main stockbroker of choice, you can see over here my total balance. Now I go into portfolio and you can see over here my biggest holding being the SPY5, which is the S&P 500 ETF of my choice. I buy it in London and US dollars, but obviously different versions out there. It's just the cheapest one at 0.03% management fee. So I really like that. But yeah, you see over here Pfizer, and I had Pfizer for a long time. I used to be really into dividend growing stocks, and I made some nice dividends from it. Right now, you can see over here on Seeking Alpha, where I do all my stock research, you can see it pays me 5.75% dividend. So really attractive. And I really build up quite a sizable position. You can see right now my holding is $4,200. However, the market value only 3,800. So definitely not my best investment, I have to admit. And well, I'm down $400. And that's been sitting there for a while. Now, I had previously other positions here as well, which I have sold out of because at least either I had a break even, meaning I came out with a zero, or I made some gains and then obviously materialized those and then put it all back into the S&P 500, as you can see over here, which is up nicely, 2,500. In fact, it's actually even higher up. It's just also previously I had the holdings in another S&P 500 ETF, the VUSA from Vanguard. So it doesn't track those changes. So I've done that only recently and I'm already up 2,500. So for me, it just works. I'm always a big fan of investing in the S&P. So I want to do the same with that holding over here. But for the longest time, I was looking at that and thought, well, I don't want to materialize a loss, right? Because I always, make these videos and say, if you lose money, it's only on paper until you actually sell it. And only then, when you materialize the loss, have you actually incurred the loss. Otherwise, it's just a paper value. Because let's be honest, if I was having more time and no rush, I could just hold on to Pfizer, get the dividend in the meantime, and maybe in 1 year, 2 years, most likely it's going to appreciate over time, and I will be coming into plus again. So it's always a question of time. But, at the same time, I've been thinking about this now for quite a while. And all the while, actually, I have not really maximized my money because while I'm getting the dividend at the same time, if we go back into Seeking Alpha, once again, you can click onto momentum over here, which is really cool. And then I can compare it very easily to the S&P 500, head to head basically, and look at total returns because that's what matters, right? It's not a price appreciation or the dividend, but I want to see the full picture with price appreciation and dividend combined. So if I look at it over here over the last 1 year, Pfizer lost in value, which is what I saw in the portfolio, while the S&P gained a staggering 33%. Now, that's obviously not natural, right? We've seen really a very strong performance. I don't expect that every single year. On average, it grows anywhere from 8 to 10%. So 33% is really quite unusual. Even over a longer period of 5 years, is still a staggering difference. Yes, we know why Pfizer did so well during the 2020, 21, etc., right? They had their reasons why they were booming in stock price over here. But since then, we all be able to move freely again in the world and not dependent on certain substances, let's say. And the price has been going down. And they obviously tried to overcome that, to come up with new innovation, to bring back the share value. But it seems they're struggling to do so. Now, again, maybe in the future, they will be able to do that. And I'm really confident that long-term Pfizer will bounce back. But my question is, do I want to wait that long? Maybe another year, 2 years, 3 years? In the meantime, using that capital and investing it in the S&P, it might grow even faster. Because while I'm down right now around $400, the total cost basis, or what I have now, let's say is $4,000. So if I would have invested this for another year in the S&P, I would make those $400 easily. So yes, it takes a longer time, but long term, I think my money works better there rather than, waiting even longer and hoping for Pfizer to outperform the previous losses it has, plus to also outperform the S&P 500. So I was hoping that would happen earlier. I didn't see that. And eventually, as an investor, you got to make a choice. I mean, you can sometimes be stubborn and just stick with your investing thesis and say, no, that's what it's going to be. And I'm going to not sell with the loss. Or sometimes just admit it, pack up and move to another investment class. And I think that's really what I want to be doing because, yeah, as I said, I don't want to have to worry about it. Every time I log in, I see the red number and I just want to put the money into something I understand that grows over time. And that's why today is the day I'm saying bye to Pfizer. It's been a fun ride. Sadly, not with a happy end, but it is what it is. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. But that's why, once again, I'm just so happy investing into S&P, because then I don't have to worry about individual shares, how they're doing, the new development pipeline of which medicines are coming up. I just couldn't be bothered, right? For a relatively still small amount when I think about it, to then have to worry, is my investment safe or not? So that's why I'm going to be selling it in this video. And well, it's very easy. Actually, when I go into this over here, open my Pfizer position on interactive brokers, you have two buttons, pretty self-explanatory. Made a lot of tutorials about it if you haven't used it before. And if you want to check out interactive brokers, use my link down in the description below. They really make it easy to open up your account. So basically, obviously, I want to sell. I can just click on sell over here, or even easier, you can click those three dots over here and click on close. That will basically close your entire position with all the holdings you have. You see how much I have. I want to sell it right away at the market order. Yes, absolutely. And from here, you can click on preview to see what you're going to be getting. And given that it's a US listed stock, the commission is actually really attractive, anywhere from 28 cents to $1 maximum. Sold European stocks or ETFs, usually that's more expensive. So that's the one thing, obviously, to keep in mind with interactive brokers. There is a small commission when you do trade. But in my case, I'm good with this. I want to go ahead and yeah, click submit sell order, materialize the loss. But hey, as I said, it is what it is. And the order has been submitted. But actually, I just realized it's still another 6 minutes for the stock markets in the US to open. Obviously, I bought it in the US. So once the stock markets will open in 6 minutes, it will be triggered, the order, and the transaction will go through. And I will have shortly after the money into my account. Right, so if I go back into my portfolio, you will still see Pfizer over here. But obviously, if I go into trade over here and then orders and trades, you will see the pending trade as it shows over here. Pfizer from the New York Stock Exchange. So it will be triggered. It's submitted, as it shows 5:23 in Dubai time. Obviously, sometimes, forget what the time is in the US, but it will open, as I said, now in 6 minutes. So probably in that video, we'll still see how it goes through. Now, of course, I could then right away go back into my portfolio and buy more of the SPY ETF, my S&P 500 ETF of choice, right? Makes sense on interactive brokers. However, recently I started using yet another broker. And yes, I know it might be a little bit too many for some of you, and I don't recommend all of you to have so many brokers as I do. Obviously, it's a passion of mine. I love investing. I also review different brokers, so I guess it comes with the job. But at the same time, I opened it because it has really a lot of benefits. Now, I will make a separate dedicated video about this broker in detail. The broker is called eToro. Some of you may have come across them before. It's also a really international broker. They've been around many, many years, have millions of customers and users. And obviously, as I said, I'm going to do a deep dive. I just started investing with them recently. And obviously, as you can imagine, I buy the same thing that I buy in all my other brokers because, I don't want to buy any new positions. So I buy, as you can see, the same SPY in London in US dollars. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. Obviously, it's still a small position. So the last few times I did my weekly $500 weekly buy on this platform, it's been really smooth. One of the nicest things I like about is that I can use basically my credit card without any commission or any fee to top up my account and then right away buy with it. So it's really easy and much easier than bank transfers, because that was one thing that I didn't enjoy on interactive brokers. It really takes a long time to send it and to get credited. So that's here literally instantly. You top up with your card, no fees, and I can buy my ETF right away. And another cool thing why I really want to start sending more funds into eToro is what they call the eToro Club. Now, as I said, I'm going to do a deep dive onto the platform, but very briefly, basically the more funds you have inside the platform, you will get different benefit levels. And you can see here, it starts already from 5K. You start going up the ranks and get quite a bit of perks for that, like a dedicated account manager. Really cool. I mean, just by having 5K over there and a lot of other perks, which I really like. Of course, now I'm getting really excited to start going up. Imagine I moved all my interactive brokers funds to eToro, which I'm not planning to do all of it, but obviously in the future invest more on the platform. I would already be a Platinum Plus level investor with them. With that, look at all the different benefits you'll be getting and really cool things. For example, you could get invitation to top tier events and many other things. You get free Wall Street subscription, no withdrawal fees, higher interest on your cash balance. So really a lot of top tier benefits, tickets to handpicked sporting events. I saw some people getting to VIP booths to some basketball or football events. So really, really cool. And at the highest level, you can even get free airport priority pass access. So that way I wouldn't even need my Revolut Ultra plan necessarily anymore. So yeah, that for me makes it really attractive. And of course, best of all, when I buy my ETF over here, contrary to interactive brokers, I'm not paying any commission. So yet another appealing point for me to use that platform more and more. But as I said, I'll make a separate video about it. But if you want to check it out already in the meantime, use my link down in the description below to sign up, get started, because honestly, I think it's going to be a really promising platform going forward. I'll definitely speak more about it. But don't worry, I'm still going to be keeping my interactive brokers platform. I'm just going to be adding eToro on top of it. And of course, trading 212. So these are going to be my 3 main brokers, I would say. Idea I still also have. So yeah, I just like to diversify across different platforms and simplify, hence my selling of the last individual share. Because now, honestly, it's super easy for me. I buy Bitcoin, S&P 500 ETF, and real estate. Literally as simple as that. And it just makes my life so much easier. Now I can really focus on my business, on driving income and investing that added income into any of those 3 positions. And just to double check, yes, if I now go back into my portfolio, you see I'm only left with 1 position over here, SPY5. The Pfizer shares have been sold and now already have the $4,000 ready to, do whatever I want to with them. And well, basically I'm going to be withdrawing them into my bank account and from there send it over to eToro to buy, once again, S&P 500. I'm going to lump sum that money. I'm not going to stretch it out over the next few weeks. I'm going to put it all in because, again, I don't want to be out of the market. That money was already for me invested, so I'm not trying to stretch it out. The dollar cost averaging will be my additional money, so I'm not going to use that to stretch it out over the weeks. I'm going to put it all in. As soon as I have it, I'm just going to drop it back into the S&P without commissions. And by doing so, the cool thing is I'm already going to be an eToro Silver Club member. So I'm going to start getting certain perks. So really cool. I'm going to be excited to try them out. Obviously, I'm going to also integrate those into future reviews about them. All right, friends, there you have it. Just a really honest and quick update on my portfolio, but I think it had to be done. I was waiting for it long enough to make the decision, but I thought time has finally come and I'm happy about this. Now I can really sit back and continue investing on autopilot, which I like and really recommend to most people. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. It helps the video to be seen by more people. Next up, check out this video here. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.